After Natalie was killed, a lot of women got a hold of me and offered to help. None of them followed through. Some of them did send money, and I'm glad for that money because it wasn't much, but it was better than nothing. The problem is, I never would have needed any of that money if any one of those women had come forward with me like a fucking friend or family member would. Which is why I'm so disgusted by them calling me friend or family, pretending to be friend or family. It's not a offended thing, though. It's a, God damn it, people are dead now. Because you wanted to make excuses instead of helping the victim turn it in right away. Over and over again, people assaulted me and threatened me and harassed me. And all these people saying literally any excuse. Literally any excuse not to take a look, not to fucking listen, not to fucking try. People who swore up and down that they wanted to help me. Now, Pauline Florentino, she promised to help me, and she did not help me in that way at all. Now, there are other things that she did for me. The thing is, none of these people ever helped me to turn these things in, and that's what I needed. Pauline Florentino, she sent me some money right after Natalie died. She sent it to one of those GoFundMes. I didn't make those GoFundMes. She wasted money to help me out. And Candace Bondurant did everything she could to prevent me from getting that money. To prevent me from having a safe place. To slander my name and make me feel like shit. Because people hurt me over and over and over again. Well, she used her children to try to fucking pity party me. I'm a horrible person somehow. Because I wouldn't do what Candace Bondurant wanted me to do right when she wanted me to do it. Because I couldn't. Candace wanted me to forget about everyone else's kids. She thought, oh hell, I fucked up. Maybe I'll hide behind my kids. I know that's a good trick. What's another good trick? Go to your other female friends. Talk some trash about them, and hopefully those female friends will go talking shit to their husbands. Husbands aren't allowed to have opinions, neither are boyfriends. Not sure if you were aware of that. If they are allowed to have opinions, they're not stuck with modern women. I don't believe that women should necessarily be the Susie homemaker, but somebody needs to be. If she's going to go to work and be the breadwinner, then the man should be able to raise the kids. Pauline is missing. She's been missing for a while. She hasn't been contacted in a long time. Hasn't seen my messages in a long time. That's the thing, is that these people who promised to help, the one thing that I needed them to help with, was for them to help me to turn these things in. For them to be a friend or family member. Not to just say the words, but to be that word. Don't tell me you are a friend. Be a friend. Don't call me family. Be family. Pauline ain't perfect. She never spoke up. Most of these people didn't. Not with me to the police. Brandon Ratner never tried, promised he would. Shannon Alvarado promised she would too. She just never kept her fucking word. How about instead of making excuses, you fucking try? There's a lot of people involved in the situation with Natalie that are missing. They weren't involved in her death. They were involved in the situation with the gaslighting, the threats, the harassment, the intimidation, the abuse after Natalie's death. Pauline Florentino, Shannon Alvarado, Cara Rogers. All of these people were involved in the situation with Natalie, because the situation with Natalie wasn't just Natalie's death. It was the abuse by her and her friends and family before her death. The way I was abused by my friends and family when I reached out for help. The way I was abused and neglected and taken advantage of financially and physically by the police. And by mandated reporters, therapists. I had 3 different therapists when Natalie died. All 3 of them getting paid by the state. Nicole Gerald, Nicole Peralta, Jeff Ritter. Not that Shannon Alvarado cares, it's not happening to her. Anyway, Pauline, last I knew, went to Hawaii. That's her home. Haven't heard from her in a while. Now there's some pretty fucked up shit going on, so I'm worried extra because I'm fucking softy like that. And I gotta deal with stalkers still. I mean, fuck it, God damn it. Yeah, I must be imagining this shit, right? But I'm not. Christine Buhit's dead. Janine Barrett's dead. Anna Hunka's dead. Natalie Bollinger's dead. Stephen McMillion's dead. Tony Gallia's dead. Rand Ingersoll's dead. Jeffson's dead. Tim Cossack's dead. Nobody cared to listen. They all just wanted to pawn me off on someone else or give me advice based on not fucking listening. Pauline Florentino, she sent me some money. She sent me some money so that I could get safely out of Tacoma. I ended up having to spend that money so that I could get a phone full of evidence that was stolen back. I let this girl who was homeless use my telephone and she stole it. And I had to promise to buy her a new telephone to get it back. By the time I got the telephone back, I didn't have any money, so I ended up getting my vehicle towed, parking it where I was told to. I also ran out of gas, so I had to earn a gas tank full of gas. I finally put it into my vehicle, and I ran across the street to go pee, and I came back, and they were towing it. There was no fucking sign. I talked to one of the guys that worked there. When I parked there, he said it'd be fine. Nobody ever came out and talked to me about it, and it was a place I was told to park it. Didn't matter. Pauline did nice things. She just never helped me to turn it in. Katie Saltzman is missing. David Saltzman is missing. Pauline is missing. And I gotta deal with fucking nut jobs like Stephanie Larkin. I gotta deal with nut jobs like Lindsay Tanner. These people aren't even willing to listen to the crimes that were committed against me before they're getting into an argument over what's legal and what ain't. What's moral and what ain't. Telling me they'll help me and then telling me to give it to Jesus. Jesus didn't stick his nose in all this bullshit. Pauline did. Shannon did. Stephanie did. Out of the literally hundreds of people who said that they would help me, not a single one of them ever made a phone call with me to the police to turn this shit in. Not once ever. Thank goodness for Jared. Finally, this year, only person to ever make a call. Ever. And that was about Tyler Crabtree. Guess where Tyler Crabtree is now? He's on the run for robbery. That's right. What's his claim to fame other than being on the run with that other kid and that Jeep Grand Cherokee Sport red? Hell, his license plate number is on my fucking channel, for Christ's sake. So is his butthole. Not joking. At the Tillamook Library here. I guess it's over there. Yep. I was in the Tillamook, Oregon parking lot for the Tillamook Library. Now in the fence, right behind the senior center there where they have the square dancing, there's a house that all of the meth heads go to. All of them. All of the junkies go to the same house. And some of them, they park their vehicles outside of there, and people come up to their vehicle all day long, fucking dealing drugs out of the fucking library parking lot. Yeah, what was Tyler Crabtree doing the day that he was harassing me like that, along with his other friend? He was over at that fucking dope house. Big old hole in the back fence. It's been there a while. Nearly all the people who come up to me asking if I have any white. Hey man, you got any white? No, I don't fuck with none of that shit. I got Tourette syndrome. That's why I do this. That's why I do this. That's why I go. And why I go. I also have Asperger's, and when I'm overwhelmed, I rock back and forth. and I make funny noises. I've been told it sounds like somebody punched me in the stomach and I'm trying to get my air back. And yeah, I suppose it does kind of sound like that. I know, because my dad used to sucker punch me in the stomach. He wasn't one of those guys who would kick the living shit out of me. He was one of those guys who wanted to point his hand at me like this, all of his fingers towards me, while giving me a lecture, giving me a preaching, and then he'd sucker punch me in the gut. Because he liked the way that it sounded when I was making that moaning sound you make at the very beginning. When your diaphragm is still seizing up, it's still pushing air out for a second or two. And then you finally get to take your breath in. You get to take 2 or 3 breaths. Meanwhile, my dad hasn't broken stride. He's just preaching along, preaching along. It doesn't matter to him that I didn't hear a word he was saying while I was trying to collect my oxygen. And about that time, here comes another one. Same place. I'd get about 3 or 4 of those in about a 5-minute period. Some of his lectures would go on for an hour. Now, between my dad sucker punching me like that and my older brother smacking me in the stomach with bamboo when I was coming through the door, all super surprised, which one hurt more? I don't fucking know. Both of them knocked the air out of me. Both of them hurt like a son of a bitch. I suppose probably my dad doing it, because he did it over and over and over again. My older brother, he'd just smack me in the stomach, see me go down to the ground, and then he'd tell me what a pussy I am, and tell me I need to toughen up and go to Duke's Ryu Ninjutsu with him, learn not to be a pussy. You know what I learned in Duke's Ryu Ninjutsu? I didn't want to learn any of the shit. I didn't want to use any of the shit that I learned. Master Carnes taught us this thing where you wrap up around a man's neck and you lock your arms in, and how to properly lock your arms in. And then he said, all right, now I want you to walk backwards super slowly, and I'm going to tell you when to stop. And as you walk backwards with the guy in front of you as your test dummy, you get to a certain point of tension, Master Carnes tells you stop. And about when he's saying stop, that's when the guy that you're holding on to is reaching up and tapping out. It's like, I realize it's a slow exercise and it's moving backwards, but you need to ask the guy who you were walking backwards with why he tapped out. Master Carnes said, all right, now here's what you need to remember. If you got to break a man's neck, that's what you do, except you don't walk backwards slowly. You throw your legs out as hard as you can, both of them, same time, out behind you. And you fucking slam down to the ground while still holding on. I went, well, that's something I'm not going to fucking try in my lifetime. Now, we've made nearly this whole video about me. Enough about me. Go find Pauline. Let her know that crazy-ass Sean Schwartz on the mainland needs to know she's not fucking dead. Please.